Afternoon, folks. And effectively, what we've got here is a data maturity model going from like a pyramid, going from level 1 to level 5. And it talks about the level of maturity for any given organization. And so right at the top of the curve, you can see data-driven organizations. We've heard data-driven quite a few times. What does it mean exactly? Well, it actually means that you've got strategic data. Every single organizational decision is backed up by data. It's something that's kind of forecasting. That's really what it means. But it doesn't start off on that end of the curve. It starts off on the other side. It starts off with no data. Generally, you don't have any data at all to make any educated decisions. Not many organizations find themselves in that. The next level is big data. So that's kind of curious. Going from no to the next level is big data, which just shows the fact that as soon as you have data, you're on that land of big data. So you go from the first one, which is regressive, to the second one, which is repeatable. So effectively, you've got behaviors, you've got actions, you've got activities which are repeatable. But you're inundated with data. You have a lot. There's not much structure behind there. So it should be no surprise that the next level is quality data. So you now have sets of data, just standardized. In addition, you may adorn the data. You may, if you've ever spoken about this before, speak a little bit about metadata. You have decorations around data. So you have data describing data. That's a hell of a lot of data. But that's not only a technological problem. There is also a process piece here as well as a people side. So one of the things you'll notice there, it says there's a cultural shift around the organizational behavior. There's no point having a really tidy house if you're going to mess it up all over again. So the housekeeping behind this, the process, making sure that there is known defined roles and responsibilities around that. The next step behind this, once you've got structured data sets, is the predictive side. So looking at these data sets, looking at the past and using it to get some element of understanding around the future. Now, some data-driven decisions will happen, but not all of them. And that's what takes you to level 5, which is effectively any key organizational decision is backed up by good data. Now, if that sounds like a million miles away, don't worry. Level 5s are usually the bastion of large tech companies like Netflix, Facebook, Google, and you generally don't find many enterprise organizations doing that. Generally, you find them at probably the level 3 or level 2 sometimes. And that's what we do. We take certain organizations maybe at level 2, bring them to level 3, or level 3, bring them to level 4. And that's generally the fatter middle. That's a little bit about data maturity.